So I finally got my Chinese diesel heater installed in the van, and let me just tell you why I chose one of these all-in-ones diesel heaters. Well, first of all, I think it's a bit easier just to drill a hole into the floor of the van, just pop it in, and probably during the summer when you don't gonna use it, you just plug it out and store it somewhere because it's using a decent amount of space. Now these diesel heaters were pretty much sold out in the last couple of months, and I found this one, of course, on eBay. It came from Germany. It's an unbranded one. It says it's 8 kilowatts, but from what I've read or listened to other people, there's no such thing as an 8 kilowatt diesel heater. They are all just 5 kilowatt, but they are probably rebranded, or they're just saying it's 8 kilowatts. To be honest, I really don't care about that. What I wanted it to be was exactly this shape with 4 outlets, and it had to be like the all-in-one. Very important for me because, like I've said, probably during the summer, and I'm not gonna heat up the van. I'm just gonna take it out and store it until it's cold again and I can mount it again. So really easy to do. You don't have to do too much. Just drill a hole into the floor, pop the exhaust out. What I should have been doing is also take the drill another hole to take the intake out. But at the moment, I'm just testing it, see how it goes. Yeah, at the moment I'm just gonna leave it like that with the intake inside the van. Let me know if it's a bad idea or not. We're gonna see. We're gonna test it. Now here comes the problem. The thing is, when you're gonna drill a hole in the floor of your van, in my case, I've got the wood floor. I've got the insulation. I was constantly thinking about what if the insulation would catch on fire or something. So I got my thermal camera out, and it turned out that the exhaust was about 150 degrees right where the exhaust was meeting the floor of the van. Right on the band it was showing around 200 degrees, which was really hot, and then moving on right on the exhaust again around 150 degrees. Now I did a bit of research, and the insulation that I've used is safe at around 250 degrees. It won't catch on fire. Probably will just gonna melt, but it will catch on fire at around 300 degrees. Now I know it's a long way from 150 to 300. I've chose to do a wrap. The wrap that I've been using is specially designed, especially made for exhausts, right? So I was watching a few videos where people were wrapping their exhausts just to bring down the temperature, and surprise, surprise, I mean, I'm blown out by what I've discovered. I'm gonna show you the videos now. So it turns out that after I wrapped the exhaust into that exhaust wrap, right, really cheap from eBay, I think for 5 meters I paid around £7 or something like that. I'm not sure if the quality has to do something about it, but hopefully this will help you. And to be honest, it's just absolutely, it's a waste of money. It does nothing. If so, it's just worse. As you can see from these images, the temperature exhaust actually went up, so that wrap did absolutely nothing. It just made things worse. It's absolutely useless. I was speaking to a friend about what's actually the purpose of that the heat wrap, and probably we came to an agreement that the only way you should use it if you will have something like an exposed pipe or something, and you just don't want to get burned, or you don't want your skin to be left there when you're going to touch that pipe. There's just no point of using that wrap, because as you can see clearly from the thermal imaging, it just puts up just more heat, which is unbelievable. So back to the drawing board. What I did was simply what I should be doing from the first time. is I use some silicon, but it's heat resistant up to 300 degrees. 300 degrees of a short period, and the constant resistance at around 250 degrees, I believe. So we are pretty safe. As I've said, the exhaust is only 150 degrees, was showing on the thermal camera. But once again, when I did a test with that silicon, the temperatures were still going up around the silicon at around 180 degrees. That heat wrap, that exhaust wrap, is just absolutely useless. I'm not sure if it's a matter of quality. Maybe it's just something very, very cheap, which it wasn't supposed to be that in the first place. But I was pretty struck that the temperatures actually went higher when I was using the heat wrap. So it's just, for me, it was wow. I did also some tests about the heat consumption, the fuel consumption, the power consumption, which is very important. When it starts up, that's when it's using most of the power. I think the peak was around 8 amps or something like that. And also when you shut it off, that's very important. I didn't film that, but the peak current of the cooling process, once you shut it off, it was peaking at around 9.5 amps. So that's the only massive power consumption that it's gonna use. When it's running, I think I let it run on 5 out of 10, and it was using about 1.3 amps, something like that. When you lower it on step 2 or 3, it drops under 1 amp, which is still is really low consumption. And also the amount of diesel that it uses. I did the maths, and it was using around 300 milliliters every hour on step 5 out of 10. To be honest, I wouldn't sleep with it on, even though I am planning on getting a carbon monoxide alarm. I want to get 2 of them actually. I want to put one right next to the diesel heater and one somewhere when I'm sleeping. I also have a smoke detector. But the thing is, and probably a good idea, is I just don't trust this 100%. And probably the best thing to use these things is just leave them on for a couple of hours just before you go to bed. Get the vent nice and toasty, nice and warm, and then once you go to sleep, just shut it off, and then you will have the peace of mind that nothing will happen. There may be a power cut for some reason, a fuse will blow or something, or the battery will run out or whatever. These things just act like absolute crazy. They blow smoke from the intake, from the outlet, from everywhere. There's just gonna be diesel left there, it's gonna burn. It even can catch on fire. It's just, I've seen videos of these Chinese diesel heaters that were just unplugged from their power source, and they're making a whole lots of smoke. So definitely not a good idea to leave them running overnight. You never know what's gonna happen, but I just don't trust them. So let me just show you where I've fitted mine. So we are right in the middle of the living compartment. We got the bed right there. We got the sliding window right here, and I've got this bench right here, and it's under the bench right here, just sticking nicely. I'm not sure how well this camera will pick it up, but it's decently quiet. It was very loud at the beginning, I mean the fuel pump, but once I done all my tests and all that, the pump got really quiet, and it's just a nice tick now, nothing too exaggerated. I can barely hear it from the bed, and I think I've started it for about half an hour now, and we already got 12 degrees right here in the living compartment, and 8 degrees in the back. And one of the reasons I've chose these diesel heaters with 4 outlets is because I want to have 2 outlets right here in the living room, 2 going out like that. I want to get one outlet to the front of the cab to heat up the space there, and one outlet I wanted to take it all the way under the bed, really close to the batteries. The only thing is with the lithium batteries is that if they are too cold, under 0 degrees, they won't accept a charge. You can still use them, but they won't accept a charge. So that's a good idea. Just blow some air under the bed. Also keep the garage area nice and toasty. You got some heat radiating from underneath there. You're gonna have the mattress warmed up really nice. So it just serves the purpose of spreading the heat throughout the van. So that was my update. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done it already, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.